All right, welcome everybody. My name is Chris Lavoie and I lead tech partnerships at Gorgias. Today, I'm super excited to have a great panel today to talk about the ultimate direct-to-consumer growth stage tech stack. I'm just going to give it another minute here to let people trickle in before we do get started. And I'm just going to post a question in the chat here to find out where everybody's tuning in from today. Myself, I'm tuning in from Toronto. How about the rest of the speakers on my panel? Where's everybody tuning in from today?
Hey, my name's Adam. I'm tuning in from Los Angeles.
Amazing, jealous.
Shane here with the Dacity team, about an hour down the road from you, Chris, in Kitchener-Waterloo, Ontario, Canada.
Nice.
Very nice.
I am Alex, and I am here from Bend, Oregon.
Whoa, very cool. Awesome. Cool. All right, I think we're ready to rock and roll. I'm just going to confirm one last time that everybody can see my screen. Just a thumbs up. Perfect. All right. Well, welcome everybody. We're going to kick things off. As I mentioned, my name is Chris Lavoie, and I work with Gorgias, which is a customer support help desk platform built for e-commerce merchants. I have the fantastic opportunity of leading our tech partnership program, which means I get to work very closely with all the partners we have with us today to help improve our products, connect integrations with one another to ultimately make things easier and more successful for you, the brains with us today. So I'm just going to kick things off by introducing our webinar series overall, and then ultimately dive into this specific webinar topic, and then we'll jump right into the presentations. Awesome. So about this series, we started the series late in 2020. Basically, we're choosing super topical themes that seem to be really relevant at a given time. So it might be prepping for BFCM, post-holiday retention strategies, mobile commerce best practices. Sorry about that. Little pop-up there. Of course, that would happen during now. Apologies for that. So yeah, this webinar series is ultimately designed to assemble panels of experts to speak to a given topic. So this one is obviously about the ultimate growth stage tech stack. So this is designed for brands who are in that key growth stage of their development. They really need to be strategic with deploying capital to make sure that they're securing the most important vendors and apps and platforms at the right time during that key growth stage. And so each of the partners and platforms with us today can be really critical in helping you achieve those ambitious growth goals during such an important stage. And so the only thing that we ask of you, and in terms of being a part of our audience, is to ask questions. As I mentioned, this was designed to benefit you, our brands. And so asking questions, we're also going to publish a number of poll questions throughout. And I see a question in the chat. Yes, you will be distributing the recordings. Engage with speakers and guests, and then obviously give you feedback, and we'll post a poll later on to get some feedback on that as well, so we can continuously refine these webinars. And obviously you're not going to be going away empty-handed. You're going to get a lot of great valuable information. A lot of partners with us today have special offers for actually working with them, but we also have special giveaways. And so you can see the different giveaways we have here. Pretty awesome stuff. And so how this will work is at the end of each of our presentations, and so each speaker gets 15 minutes to present, including their Q&A. Once that's done, we'll pick one lucky member of the audience that's with us at the time, and we'll give that special giveaway. And so the key is you actually have to stay on with us to be eligible for these rewards, and you can see a lot of them are pretty awesome. Cool. All right, so we're going to just jump right into things. So the rest of the speakers, aside from Shane, we will hear from you soon, and really happy to invite Shane to the stage. I'm going to stop sharing my screen and let our friend Shane from Dacity tee it up.
Amazing. Thanks so much, Chris. Really, really excited to be here with everyone today. First thing I'm going to do is share up my screen. So,
real quick, Shane,
yep.
While you tee that up, I'm just going to give you a quick introduction. And so really happy to have, as I said, Shane, who's the Director of Sales with our partners at Dacity. We always do a fun fact for all of our presentations speakers. And so Shane's pretty scary for me, is he's completed provincially in powerlifting. So I'm definitely not going to the gym anytime soon with Shane, not that we can, because of COVID. And Shane has worked at Smile and Dacity over the past 7 years. He's worked with literally thousands of brands on e-commerce and retail strategy. And when he's not talking about e-commerce growth, he's training for his next athletic adventure, watching a Toronto sports team go Leafs, and being a cat dad. And with that, the floor is all yours, Shane. Thanks for joining us.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Chris. And just quick check, everybody seeing my screen, hearing me okay?
Correct. Yep.
Amazing. That's awesome. Well, thanks so much, Chris, for the wonderful introduction. Please, anytime you want to come down to go to the gym, watch a Leafs game together, I'd be happy to have you. Really excited to chat with everyone today. As Chris had mentioned, over the past 7 years, I've worked with literally thousands of direct-to-consumer brands to help with their e-commerce growth strategy. And hopefully I can share a little bit of that with you folks today. So for those of you who may not be familiar with Dacity, at Dacity, we work with high-growth direct-to-consumer brands to find better insights in their data so that they can get the most out of the tools in their tech stack, build internal alignment, and ultimately do what everyone wants to do, which is grow faster and more profitably. So I'm going to be sharing a little bit more on that today. And the first place that I wanted to start and the first visual that I wanted to share with you folks is what you're seeing here. Now, this is just a small snapshot of your reality when it comes to the different applications that you're using throughout your stack. And I stress that this is very small because I think in the App Store, there's at least 100x number of apps beyond what you're seeing here today. Now, as you can imagine, when it comes to data, when it comes to analysis, this creates a lot of challenges because ultimately each of these tools kind of stores all of their own data. They report on things in their own way. So when trying to build reports, when trying to analyze data across your stack and for the entirety of your business, it typically requires a whole bunch of effort from a variety of different team members. Now, despite this being the reality, what we've commonly seen is that the brands, and what we really know is that the brands and the organizations that truly leverage data and those that are data-driven and use really high-quality insights to make decisions ultimately outperform their competitors. It is a fact that companies grow faster with better data and when they embrace a data-driven culture. They acquire customers, they're 23 times more likely to acquire new customers, they're 10% more profitable. And in addition to that, they have really strong internal alignment around where they should be focusing and where their efforts are best spent in order to drive growth. Now, despite these being legitimate facts, it's also true that the majority of brands self-report that they are not data-driven. And a lot of this is related to some of the challenges that we shared kind of in the last slide. A lot of this is related to the fact that they have to do a whole bunch of effort to pull data together from all of these different tools that they have throughout their stack to just get an understanding of how they're performing and where they should focus. So Dacity was ultimately created to help address some of these challenges. So at Dacity, we centralize data from all of the tools that you folks may use throughout your tech stack so that you can understand how you can optimize those tools to get the most out of them, so that you can build, that internal alignment around how you're performing, how metrics are calculated, and where you should be focusing. And ultimately, so that you can kind of come out of this stage of rapid growth and continue growing and do so fast, predictably, and profitably. So there's a few steps into this process of how we approach it. So first step is making sure that you can pull in data from the variety of tools and systems that your brand is using. It then needs to be centralized into a data warehouse. We've got a good store for all of this historical data. And then it can be unified together into what's called data models. Now, these data models are incredibly important because they build in your business logic, your metric calculations, and most importantly, they allow you to analyze data across tools, across channels, and across data sets. Now, that's really at the heart of good analytics. If we can look at data, not just in a silo, but if we can look at data that is all-encompassing, we can get to more compelling insights that our team can use to figure out how we should change or where we should improve. So once all of that work of unifying your data together is done, Dacity can help by visualizing that data for you into dashboards that make it easy to understand where you should be focusing in each functional area. And that ranges from marketing to site to operations, finance, customer segmentation, and a bunch more. We think that with regards to analytics, high growth direct-to-consumer brands should be focused most on what they care about. And what they care about is, how do we change our business? How do we improve? Not all of the messy back-end work that goes to getting the data ready to analyze. So now that I've shared a little bit more with you folks on how we actually approach some of these challenges, how we take you from this state of a bunch of data in all of these different places and trying to bring it all together, I can share with you a few real world examples of how brands have leveraged or been able to leverage Dacity to centralize some data across the tools that they are using so they can get to some really compelling insights and ultimately change their business. So the first example is Kapari, which is a high growth direct-to-consumer beauty brand. Now, Kapari came to us looking to get a better understanding of their subscription data, and they actually use Recharge for this. So in combining data across Shopify and Recharge, the Kapari team was able to identify that customers had higher lifetime values when they subscribed after their first purchase, not on their first purchase, which is kind of counterintuitive. But ultimately, it was really key to their fundraising round where they raised the $20 million Series A. So it was a great insight there. Now, switching gears a little bit into the ops side of the world and giving a big shout out to our friends over at Skubana, we work with Vincero Watches to help centralize all of their marketing and inventory data across the 9 sales channels that they were operating in to make it a lot easier for them to make decisions on the marketing and ops front. Now, as you can imagine, for a fast-growing brand that sells in platforms like Amazon, so they have 8 marketplaces in Amazon as well as Shopify, trying to figure out or bring together and understand all of your top performing products, understand where inventory is at, it's incredibly challenging. So utilizing an inventory source of truth from Skubana and sales data from Shopify and Amazon it made things a lot easier when everything was all in one place. Now, keeping with the theme of operations and fulfillment, we worked with the team over at Snow Home to help calculate the impact of free shipping. Now, I'm sure a lot of brands here on the call with us today ultimately offer site-wide free shipping. But depending on the industry that you're in, and specifically for Snow's case, shipping home goods isn't a really cheap proposition. And they wanted to figure out, is this even profitable for us to be offering it? Is it worth the cost that we're incurring? What they found doing some forecasting was that adding a $5 shipping charge to their orders added about 30% of lost costs back to their bottom line. So just a small increase in what they were charging on the shipping front had a huge impact on overall profitability. And they used all of their data from Shopify and connected it to a business intelligence tool called Looker to perform this analysis. So as you all can imagine, as you all probably saw in a grocery store near you, during the pandemic, everybody was just stocking up on toilet paper. And we work with an amazing brand called Who Gives a Crap. And in addition to seeing unprecedented demand for their products during the pandemic, they were also growing their international operations. So by tying international order to data together across all of their Shopify locations and tying that to forecasts that they had for growth, they were able to adjust marketing and inventory by region to ultimately meet the demand that they were seeing in the market. Now, for those of you who are pet lovers and more specifically dog lovers, you need to check out Mave. They're an amazing raw food brand for dog lovers and dog families. And ultimately, what they had realized and what feedback they were receiving from their customers was that they were getting a lot of products that were thawed out. Because they were raw and they're shipping long distances, they needed to freeze their products before they sent. As you can imagine, if a customer is getting that product and it's already thawed out, led to some frustration and ultimately caused the Mave team to have to make a bunch of reshipments, which eat a lot into their margins. So digging into their data across Shopify, across UPS and other carriers, what they identified was that there was a common theme across these reshipments. They identified that these carrier delays were coming only on when they were shipping products on Thursdays. So what they decided to do was not ship on Thursdays. And ultimately the result was that products got into the hands of customers frozen at the right time, and so that the Mave team could continue delivering that incredible experience. Now, the last example I'll share with you folks, and one that's really going to speak to the hearts of all the marketers that we have in the room. As you all know, marketing attribution for quickly scaling brand gets super, super confusing. Every ad channel, every vendor that you're using has its own attribution model, has its own way of attributing orders. And in addition to that, it really tries to stake claim to almost everything that they can. It's not uncommon for us to have brands like Tula Skincare that come to us and say, hey, we're adding up the orders in Facebook and Google and Snapchat, et cetera, and ultimately it is overshooting what we're seeing in Shopify. And it can be really hard to trust your budget decisions on the marketing side when you don't know for sure what the result is you're getting out of each individual platform. So they were able to tie together their data across Shopify, Google Analytics, Facebook, and Google Ads, and tying those marketing channels and attribution to each individual order allowed them to get one single accurate view of what were their best performing channels, so that they could decide where to invest their advertising budget to ultimately control their own growth. So those are just a few examples. As you can imagine, there are countless more because there's so many tools out there and there's so many opportunities to leverage data to find insights. So let me know if you folks have any questions, need any help at all. Always happy to help and to lend a hand. Thanks so much for having me.
Alrighty, perfect. That was awesome, Shane. I'm a huge fan of Dacity. I love learning everything that you guys do, and we do have a few questions for you before we let you off the hook, and then we'll do your special giveaway. So one question we have here is what tools do you see fast-growing companies commonly add to their tech stack?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, first and foremost, look no further than the tools that you have here today. So look at tools, if we think on the operation side, one of the key challenges, especially given that a lot of brands are really leaning into having a multi-channel strategy when it comes to their growth. So a tool like Skubana allows organizations to really centralize inventory operations data across multiple sales channels, whether it's direct to consumer, wholesale, Amazon, et cetera. So we often see organizations that are really hitting that growth curve starting to lean into some of that, moving out of spreadsheets. So tools like Skubana, Postscript, Just Uno, we're really seeing that a lot of organizations are selecting tools like this, in addition to a variety of others out there. I mean, maybe a little bit biased on the Dacity side, but we are starting to see this shift in brands moving outside of doing their analysis primarily in spreadsheets into tools that give them some flexibility with regards to analysis. So certainly a lot of options out there. I mean, pretty much every category in Shopify has a variety of vendors that are supporting it. But first and foremost, look no further than a lot of the technology that's here on the call today.
Absolutely, that's a great answer, and I appreciate that. We do have a question just came in from Aaron Denny, who's asking, these tools are great for brands that have an established consumer base, but what do you do if you don't have the data and metrics to feed into these tools?
Yeah, I think that's a fantastic and that's a very warranted question. And I think, as a starting point, I think, pretty much every brand can benefit from setting up something as simple as Google Analytics for their site until they build enough of a customer base to where we feel like we need to really optimize the performance of all of our channels. A really helpful starting point is understanding where the heck is our traffic coming from? And then layering that traffic and figuring out what the breakdown is in terms of which channels are generating orders, which of those channels are profitable, and what is the customer base that is really leading the charge for growth for us right now. So if you're not feeling as though you have the data and metrics to feed into these sort of tools, initially, you're probably at that stage where it's important to really focus on your growth as a whole. And I think just relying on any customer data that you have, even from something as simple as Google Analytics, is a fantastic starting point.
Absolutely. Great answer. Appreciate that. And before we go, we do have a special giveaway. So Dacity was gracious enough to put up a UE Wonder Boom Bluetooth speaker, which is fantastic. And so we don't have a very scientific way of choosing the winner. I'm literally going to close my eyes and I'm going to scroll very awkwardly through our attendance list here and pick one lucky winner. And so our lucky winner is Brian Crowley. So congratulations, you've won a UE Wonder Boom Bluetooth speaker courtesy of our friends at Dacity. We have your contact information. We will be in touch with you. This isn't some type of scam. We will contact you and get your shipping address, and we'll have that shipped out for you. So thanks so much for that.
Yeah, enjoy
Cool.
it, Brian.
And
I'll be over in the backyard soon to enjoy some tunes with you.
Thanks so much, Shane. Really do appreciate any opportunity we get to learn from the experts at Dacity. So thanks so much. Until next time.
Absolutely, Chris. Thank you.
Awesome. Cool. Alrighty, we're going to keep the party going here. Following up that great presentation, we have Justuno. So we have Unol from Justuno. We're happy to welcome you to the stage.
Can you guys hear me? Are we good to go?
Yeah, absolutely. So do you want to just tee up your screen share, and then I'll give you a quick introduction.
Here we go.
Perfect. All right. So Unoel is a product support engineer with our friends at Justuno. His fun fact is that he has over 12 animals roaming in his backyard, and you'll probably catch him dealing with donkey poop on the weekends. That might top the chart on all the fun facts that I've ever said on these webinars. And he loves working to establish the best solution for every customer, colleague, and partner pain point that he comes across. And with the rapid growth industry, you can catch him inspecting sites, learning about new systems, and carving out a way to make a goal possible, which I really like. So with that, the floor is all yours, and thanks so much again for joining.
Yeah, happy to help out. As he mentioned, Chris mentioned, I'm with Justuno, been with Justuno for about 4+ years. Super exciting place to work at, a lot of growth, and hopefully I'll be discussing with you guys a couple of different ways of improving your guys' web stack here. And yeah, so I'm going to start off just jumping right into it. We'll go ahead and discuss a little bit about Justuno. We were founded in 2010, 50+ employees now, with over 188,000 brands that we have. We had 2 offices, one in San Francisco and one in Austin. And then we're also bootstrapped and profitable, no outside funding. That's a big one for us, just because we know that plays a big role in our work ethic. And so huge for us. Cool things that we can discuss here is that with Justuno, there's been an increase of about 135% first year of use in regards to revenue, a 15% average reduction in bounce rate, and 5 times more in leads. So it's a huge thing when you get to capture more information on the visitors on your site. And also you get the ability to retarget them and really hone in on who is a purchaser, who is a visitor, really narrowing down those individual visitors to retarget them and increase the conversion optimization here. So what we will cover, we're going to be covering a couple of things here: CRO fundamentals, some audience sync information, and AI product recommendation. A couple of the features that we offer with Justuno. And so to get right into it, what is CRO? A lot of you know CRO as a way of optimizing, whether that be a site, the overall site, a landing page, the experience in general, but really using insights on your website to increase conversions, whether that be just engagements in general or actual purchases. We are all about that. We really want to help improve on the workflow that you have. A lot of people refer to as a funnel system. So we want to help out with that funnel, really segment things to what works best for your particular industry, but also what is going to perform the best, of course. So a couple of things that we'll discuss in this little walkthrough, and I will demonstrate the app so you guys have a good idea as to what we're dealing with here. But we will be discussing different things from lead captures, exit offers, unibars when it comes to general CRO fundamentals. And when it comes to lead captures, there's various different lead captures that we offer, whether that be promotions that you have in the center, whether it be promotions that are tied to the corner, anything like that. Lead captures are a way for us to say, hey, enter your email, enter your phone number, any information that you're wanting from a visitor. We can go ahead and ensure that the content for the next screen is gated to offer, whether it be an incentive, a downloadable link. The options are limitless, really, but we try to ensure that we can increase the amount of engagements that you have for whether it be clicks on a promotion or actual email captures, which are a huge thing. And so we'll discuss that a little bit more. But we also have the ability to target audience in a very intricate way. It's not just the ability to say, hey, we have just a new visitor. We can go down to the nitty gritty and say, hey, this individual visitor has been to my site 10 times, has added 3 different items in that amount of time, and we want to go ahead and show them a specific promotion. We can get really down and dirty with stuff like that, where you can hone in on very specific details. So super powerful, but we'll cover that in a second here. And then we have your classic message promos, which you kind of see in most websites nowadays when it comes to like free shipping banners, things to really expedite a purchase. So time sensitivity options like countdown timers and so forth, those come in really, they come in handy when it comes to message promos, because it's an easy way of increasing the ability for them to take hold of those actions. So we'll jump right into a couple of examples here. And so you'll notice that this is just a classic example of an exit, where if somebody is leaving their cursor outside of the actual window, and that would be like bookmark area, URL area, you can cause a trigger that shows a promo, and that can be in a lot of different aspects. It doesn't have to be necessarily just a single phrase message. It can offer more options. There are clients that like to have a lead capture as an exit option, but this also introduces a way of offering more actions when other things occur. So for example, if someone's exiting, you can fire different scripts. You could do different tasks that are outside of just showing a pop-up. So some clients like to run events that are very delegated based on actions that they've taken on the site. So maybe because they exited, we want to tag that client, or that visitor, I should say, and then retarget them at a future point because they've simply seen a page. And because they saw that page, we want to make sure that we can attribute a tag for them and retarget them. So there are different ways of using exit promos with our rules, but just as an example, we have a cool couple of phrases there. And then if we jump into our audience sync, this is a new feature that we just included that is super helpful for anyone who is wanting to use the emails that we've captured. A lot of times what occurs is that you'll capture the emails, it'll get sent to your ESP. So whatever email service provider you're using will then have the options to do something with that data, whether that data is associated with immediately passing it over to another system. In this case, what we're doing I would say to really minimize the amount of steps that someone has to take is allowing there to be a seamless sync option. So with Justuno, when you are on a pop-up, or I should say when you're on your dashboard area, and I can screen share, since I'm screen sharing here, I can kind of show you guys a quick demo here. So within Justuno, in your promotions area, you'll have the options to click audience sync. And if you have an account that is associated with it, properly set, it will allow you to actually connect your Google and Facebook ads. And that way, the data that you capture from the pop-ups is already being tied to that audience. So super helpful when it comes down to what could I use those emails for the moment that they're captured, rather than just maybe sending them to my email system and just running a campaign. There's a bit more that can be done the moment that that data is captured, and it continuously syncs. So super helpful. Jumping into one of the big features for us under our Plus plan, and that is our Commerce AI. I'll showcase this here in a second as well, but just to cover some general details of it, we have a couple of different algorithms that help us showcase the different products that you're wanting for a visitor to see. Whether they are very specific products that are associated with a very relatable goal, whether that be an upsell, cross-sell, there are the options to also just select one of the algorithms. As long as the products have been synced with our system, we will then showcase the relevant information based on these types of algorithms. So super helpful when you want to offer other options that a visitor can take advantage of. A lot of our clients tend to use these recommendation options when they're aware of a particular product that a visitor is on. And so because our rules are allowing us to review URL pages, we can say, okay, visitor is on the cart page. So because they're on the cart page, let's go ahead and fire this promotion that's going to offer 10 different items. And if they select one of those items, then of course we'll account for an engagement and report a conversion and assist with that purchasing power there. So let me go into the Justuno slide here and real quickly showcase an example here that can help kind of illustrate what we're dealing with. So if we jump into this promo here, you guys will see that this is our Commerce AI, offers quite a lot of different options that you can pick from in terms of how you want this to be corresponding. So the amount of items that you want, the amount of columns that it has when it's being responsive in terms of width, a lot can be done. And when you get to this area, you'll notice that we have options on the left that really encompass the different features for the layers that you can add. Super powerful because it's not just one feature that you're using the entire system. You can use a plugin for the Commerce AI, and then you can use a different plugin. Let's say you want to add a spin to win before this entire screen shows. You can have an intro screen that showcases a totally different interactive feature that then gets them over to another screen to offer them more insight on what they can click on, what they can add, and so forth. So this is just really a quick rundown of the little options that are in our design canvas. You'll notice that on the left-hand side, we have a couple of different main features, and that's where you'll find the Commerce AI, where you'll see a couple of the different rule options that one can set up. You'll see that we have offer different filter options and so forth. So a really intuitive and an easy way of showcasing various different products on various different pages, but helping increase the conversion rate all in general, I should say. And so a couple of examples here where we're showcasing more of our manually placed upsells. So for an example, this particular promotion would only show if a particular item was actually in the cart. So we're reviewing for cart items, and if that item is met, then we're going to go ahead and showcase a corner pop-up. Same thing with the rest of these. They were all tied to very specific actions that really related for or allowed us to showcase a product that was congruent to the overall item that was in their cart. So if we were to kind of jump in, you'll notice that we have our product recommendation here as an example. Super, super useful, as I mentioned, really offers the ability to encompass more items to sell. But I'll jump into one more thing before I close it out, and just a rundown of the different integrations that we offer. So I know that one of our partners here right now is Postscript, and so I want to showcase a couple of different ways that a pop-up can be connected. And so as you guys noticed, there was a quick rundown of the Commerce AI and how that appears. But whenever you are creating a pop-up, the real intuitive part comes from the rules, where you have the option to create multiple rules, and each of those rules governs the way that that pop-up functions. So you can have multiple rules, meaning that that same pop-up can show up in various different occasions. And it could also be based off of various different things. So right now, you guys can kind of have a quick glance of the different options that are available here, but we do offer more intuitive ways of targeting content on a website. A lot of times clients will reach out and they'll say, hey, we really want to target clients or visitors that are associated with a logged in status. We have no way of targeting individuals who are logged in, our wholesale purchasers, etc. We have countless ways of going about that, where we can say, hey, if this element is on your website, go ahead and fire a pop-up. Or if they click this element on the website, fire a pop-up. A lot of different ways of going about that. And this area here is super helpful when it comes to creating that action. And to kind of roll into the integration side of things, whenever you do have a opt-in pop-up, and I'll go in here and create a quick rundown so you guys can see that in action. And so here's a lead capture. We do have various different themes that one can choose from. And if you're under a plus plan, you can choose from countless other plus options that we have for those dedicated areas. But you guys can take a peek here, and you'll notice that whenever we are setting up a lead capture, we have the option to integrate with various different integrations, and that includes integrations that we may not be showing. So if you don't see your integration, by all means, feel free to reach out. We're always happy to address concerns like that because there are custom ways of integrating, but you'll notice that we have quite a few integrations you can kind of go through and connect, and that will allow us to pass those details over and ensure that that data makes it over to the corresponding account. But with that being said, that's a little bit about Justuno and the different ways that you could really optimize your conversion, since it helps acquire all these different leads and super helpful. But I will move on to the questions that you guys might have.
Awesome. That was fantastic. As a consumer myself, I really love and appreciate when I'm being, basically, given a personalized experience. Really helps me convert, I know. I do have a few questions for you that came in before we let you off, and then we'll also do a special giveaway. This one's from Michael Wadsworth, who's asking, what types of data can I collect through Justuno?
Yeah, so there's quite a lot of data that we can capture, and that's one of the cool things about Justuno. When it comes down to data, it's not just your email, your phone number, it's anything that you're really desiring to capture. We can go ahead and associate that with a field, and we can say, hey, if the client is, or if the visitor is going ahead and entering this information, we can go ahead and log it for you. So it's really up to your imagination. We haven't really come across a scenario yet where we can't capture those details, unless it's, of course, sensitive information that we will disclose and say, hey, you may not want to be capturing those details. But outside of that, there really isn't anything that we've come across that can't be captured or that can't be retargeted, which is a huge thing for our clients, being able to figure out when and where the communication was dropped, where the interest was dropped, where we can improve upon that. And yeah, it's super, super helpful.
Awesome. Yeah, there was a few other questions. Unfortunately, do have to keep it moving, but if you could, once you jump off, answer those questions.
100%.
Fantastic. Awesome. So quick notes. So Justuno is offering a free demo and trial of Justuno Plus when you give, which gives you a dedicated CRO strategist, access to AI product recommendations, exclusive pre-built templates, and instant email listing to Google and Facebook ads. So that's just standard as well. So contact Justuno if you want to claim that. And then to finish up here, we're just going to do the special giveaway. So here we go with my very scientific way of picking a lucky winner. Here we go. So I should say the prize that Justuno has put up is what is it? Oh, it's a Soda Stream, which I love. And so the winner of that is Molly Thorpe. So Molly, congratulations, you've won a Soda Stream, courtesy of our friends at Justuno. We have your contact. We'll be in touch afterwards to send that to you. All right, thanks again so much, my friend, for presenting on behalf of Justuno. And yeah, until next time.
Appreciate it.
Alrighty. Well, catch our breath here. Almost halfway through. Super exciting so far. We've had several great presentations. I'm going to join stage or stay on stage myself, and I'm fortunate enough to be presenting for Gorgias today. And so, yeah, so I work with Gorgias. I lead tech partnerships at Gorgias, as I mentioned at the beginning, which means I get to work with all of these great tech partners with us today to form strategic technical partnerships where we're literally connecting our products and platforms into one another to give you a more seamless and robust experience. And so we integrate with a few of the partners with us today, and hopefully integrate with everybody with us today at some point in the future. And so I'll be presenting today on how Gorgias ultimately is critical for facilitating and enabling growth for those SMB and mid-market businesses who are really at a key stage in their growth. So quickly, just a quick rundown of what Gorgias is. So we're a customer support help desk built exclusively for e-commerce D2C brands. And so e-commerce is our bread and butter. That's what we do. And we started in 2015. We now work with over 6,000 leading D2C brands in the space. You can see some of them listed here of all shapes and sizes. And so the big picture of the types of brands we work with are, fashion, accessories, beauty, cosmetics, health and wellness. And the brands that really come to us are in two different buckets. So those that are really in that early stage growth, they haven't used some type of support help desk tool just yet, and they're feeling the pain of managing things manually through things like email. And so they're looking for their first e-commerce tool, or they're a more scaled up brand, and maybe they're using another help desk in the space that isn't quite super tailored for an e-commerce D2C brand, and that's ultimately why they would be coming for Gorgias. All right, so before I jump into some core product features and ultimately how we are such a perfect tool for that growth stage tech stack, I first want to set the stage by talking about just how important really great customer experience and customer support is as a modern e-commerce brand. I'll talk about our big vision for enabling brands to deliver exceptional experience, and then I'll jump right into our product. And so first and foremost, our number one goal is how can we empower merchants to deliver an exceptional customer experience? Obviously, this has a huge impact on your retention, your lifetime value, average order value, conversion rates, et cetera. And so it's imperative that you have a great tool in place and a great mechanism in place for facilitating and making it easy for your customers to be as happy as possible. And so in this vein, we've really gamified the support performance of our 6,000 plus brands, and we've lumped them into 5 categories, 5 being the absolute best. And one of the key metrics that we're using to assess the performance of our brands on the support metric side of things is response time, which is how long it takes to first respond to a customer inquiry, whether they call you, they live chat you, they email you, they respond to an SMS campaign. So that's response time. And we have phenomenal data to show that the brands that are able to respond in under 10 minutes, which is the holy grail, that's Amazon type levels, there's a huge correlation between fast response time and lifetime value, retention, et cetera. And so that's ultimately we want to do is try to enable our merchants to get, go from a level 2 or level 3 support tier to that level 4 and level 5. Currently, only 3% of our entire customer base fall into that, what we consider truly exceptional customer support. And this has really motivated us and our brands to enhance our tools, drive our product roadmap decisions, so we can make it easier for them to get to this, sub 10-minute response time. And some of the ways that we can do that is, deflecting more tickets, making it easier to answer questions in an automated way, better leveraging our live chat, and a few other features we'll talk about today. And so before we jump into our product, let's first just set the stage. Where do traditional help desks fall short? So if you are using a tool or maybe you're not, what are the biggest shortcomings or pitfalls that you have that's really preventing you from delivering that truly exceptional customer experience? And the 3 major things are, lack of automations. So obviously, if you're doing things in a manual fashion, that's not great. Great tools like Dacity make it really easy to have, access to, analytics and insights that help you make actionable decisions, key business decisions in an automated fashion. So that's huge. Gorgias functions very much in the same way. We don't want you doing anything manually. We're able to automate up to 30 to 50% of your entire support volume. And so you might just be doing maybe a few hundred tickets a month or customer conversations, or you might be doing 10 to 100,000 tickets a month for our larger enterprise level customers. At the end of the day, the more you have to spend time manually answering those questions, it's going to add up to costs. You're going to make mistakes because everybody's human, and that's going to lead to churned customers, and obviously it's going to impact your lifetime value. So you need to be embracing automation tools. You need to also be embracing customer intelligence and personalization. So in the customer experience world, the holy grail is a perfect balance of automation and personalization. You obviously need to be fast to be efficient, but you also can't come across to sound like a robot. You really need to be able to leverage that customer data, which we all have, to really deliver a personalized experience. We all know as consumers ourselves, we're talking with a brand and it's clear that they have all the information about us that they need. They don't need to ask a bunch of questions to catch up to speed. Then that really gives us a smooth, frictionless experience, which we now expect. And so a key piece of this whole thing is expectations have never been higher and are only going to increase. And so you need to have this super seamless integrated experience on the support side. And then that leads me to the final piece, which is channel aggregation. Long gone are the days where, you'd call, you only call the store, or maybe you'd email them to get support. Now customers are everywhere. They expect you to be everywhere, social media, live chat, also phone, email, texting, etc. You need to be all the places that your customers are. You need to assume that they expect you to be there, and you need to have all that data and have all these channels integrated to deliver that seamless experience. And that's ultimately what Gorgias is able to do. All right, so let's just jump right into it and talk about, okay, we know the problem. We know exceptional customer experience is the goal. How does Gorgias help brands do that? And our cheesy hero slogan is that we turn support into a profit center. Most people think of support as a cost center. And what I'll show you is that, obviously we make it easy to just keep your customers happy, increase that lifetime value, and reduce that churn rate by just delivering exceptional support for sure. But we also have a lot of powerful features that make it actually easy to upsell and create sales opportunities that you otherwise wouldn't be able to without a tool like Gorgias. We'll jump into that. So first things first, especially during the growth stage, you don't have a ton of data. And so it's really important that, the tools that you're using have a library of data to leverage to make it easy for you to answer certain questions. So one of the things that we do is we analyzed over 10,000 tickets or conversations that a lot of our brands were having with their consumers to understand what the most commonly asked questions were. And then we use this data to drive our product roadmap decisions and our features to make it easy as possible to automate the answering of all of these commonly asked questions. So you can see the breakdown here. Order status related questions was the number one, which may not be a surprise. 33% of all your ticket volume for most of our brands is directly related to order status. These are simple questions. They're not really going to have an impact on your churn rate. They're kind of annoying questions, but it's super important to answer these as fast as possible. And so we make it really easy to automate up to 100% of such question types. So for instance, someone messaged in, where's my order? We'll detect that question was asked. We'll populate a pre-built response. We'll pull in all the information from, say, Shopify, Magento, or BigCommerce, and then we'll fire that message without an agent actually having to get involved. And so this is an easy way through our machine learning and automation to basically wipe out this entire portion of your ticket volume, which if you're doing 1,000, 10,000, or 100,000 tickets a month, then that's a lot of time that you're saving. And before I move off of this slide, there's a few other categories that, in much smaller percentages, are actually quite important. So you can see things like, product availability, product suggestion, product question, pre-order question. These are pre-sales questions. These aren't post-sale support related questions. These are pre-sale opportunities that if you're able to answer in a fast fashion, so ideally less than 10 minutes, and give a personalized experience while you're doing so, can dramatically increase your conversion rates, all the way from say 2 to 7%, which might be industry standard, all the way up to 28 to 30% conversion rates when you are answering these pre-sale questions in under 10 minutes. So that's another reason that we drive our product roadmap decisions to make sure we can answer all of these questions, not just boring order status questions, but also pre-sale questions to drive more revenue. I already mentioned this, so I won't spend too much time on it, but with our help desk, your support agents are going to be armed with as much information as you could possibly need to deliver exceptional support, either manually or we can do this in an automated fashion. So one thing, we integrate with Shopify. We'll pull in all of the information about that customer inside of the conversation. So this is a simplified view. Frank is a support agent. Michelle is a customer. She has a question. She wants to update her shipping address. Normally you go into Shopify, you'd find Michelle, you'd update the shipping address for her. Now, because of our integration with Shopify, we have all the information we need about Michelle, her lifetime spend, all of her orders, status of any orders that are active. But we can also take a lot of actions like update the shipping address, cancel an order, duplicate an order, refund, return, exchange, etc. So this means no more switching tabs. We're able to give super fast resolution times, which is how fast it takes to actually solve the customer problem. Our machine learning is great. We can detect sentiment. We can apply tags to tickets to triage them essentially into the appropriate buckets. So say I'm a senior support agent. I'm the one who's responsible for dealing for the VIP tickets. These are customers who have the highest life or average order value and lifetime spend with us. I know that when I go to work, I clock in and I go to my bucket of tickets, which might be VIP tickets. It might be return and exchange, churn risk tickets, which we can automatically tag a ticket as such. that all those tickets are appropriate for me to see. You're not going to have this ocean of tickets that you have to filter through. Okay, that one's for you. Yeah, that one's for me. Everything is going to be automatically tagged appropriately based on machine learning. We'll detect the sentiment and intent of those messages and then triage them into the appropriate bucket, which can save your support team a ton of time. All right, and then pivoting into the omnichannel approach. And so, as I mentioned, it's not enough to have disparate tools working in siloed ways. So, it's great if you have a phone support mechanism and a live chat and obviously email support. But if these tools aren't working together, and certainly on the social media side, then that's a huge missed opportunity. Your customers expect you to have all these channels integrated with one another when they're communicating with you. And so it's important that you actually do. And so one thing that's powerful about Gorgias is that we're connected to all these major channels: live chat, email, phone, SMS, social media, etc. We're pulling all the information in from those channels, and then we're coupling that with the customer information that we have about you, say through your Shopify account. So regardless of what channel your customers are interacting with your business, we're going to standardize that view for you inside of Gorgias, so your support agents can have a seamless conversation with them, or we could automate the conversation. So one such channel that maybe not a lot of people think about is live chat. So if live chat is an example of when you're actually talking to customers. So if that's not a channel, then I'm not sure what is. And so our live chat is super powerful. Our brands do a phenomenal job driving sales through live chat. I have a really cool example later on to show you just how much sales one of our brands was able to generate in a single day using live chat. We also importantly now have self-serve. And so imagine as a consumer, you go on Decathlon, which is one of our brands. You want your own order status. You don't have to go on live chat. You don't want to have to email a brand. You can just hit a little widget that will pop up. You can put in your email and your name, your email and your order number. It'll pull up all of your recent order history. You could hit track. It'll pop out the most up-to-date order status that's pulled in from your Shopify account. You can report an issue. We also have a few other additional buttons now for refunds and return and exchanges as well. And so this will deflect 20 to 30% of your entire ticket volume. So as a brand, you didn't even know that these potential issues or questions existed because customers are able to get the information themselves. And as a consumer myself, whenever a website has such capabilities, that's huge for me because I don't have to wait. I don't have to contact anybody. I'm just going to get the information I need instantaneously. And at the end of the day, if you do need to escalate to a live agent, you can easily do so by hitting the start conversation button. And then the big stuff is social media, right? That's the future. That's the now. And so brands are interacting with your businesses on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, Twitter. And so we have powerful integrations with Instagram, Facebook, including the messenger equivalents of those. And so what that means is, imagine someone's commenting positively or negatively on, say, one of your product posts on Instagram. We'll detect that as positive or negative sentiment. We'll create a ticket inside of Gorgias alerting a support agent that, hey, someone was talking really nicely about us or someone was talking really negatively about us. And you can leverage that in either way. You could say, hey, thanks for liking our product and giving us some love. Here's a 10% discount code. Or you could say, hey, sorry that you had a disappointing experience with our product. Here's a 15% discount code. We'll be sure to resolve that issue moving forward. Either way, you're connecting with your customers like never before, and you're having full oversight. And by integrating it with your help desk, right, you're not having disparate teams working in disparate ways. So your social media team and your support team, everything can be managed with inside of Gorgias, which is huge. And then what's really exciting is literally this week, we've launched Instagram DMs. And so now any DM conversations you're having with a customer will pop up as a ticket inside of Gorgias. And so now all of those conversations can live inside of Gorgias. If that person you're talking to through Instagram DMs has, say, Shopify data associated with them because they've shopped with you before, you'll have all that information available so you can leverage that to create upselling opportunities, which is huge. And then another cool channel, obviously, is SMS, which is becoming even more popular. We have a great integration with Postscript. They're actually our first ever integration at Gorgias. We now have 50, and they were number 1. And so here's just a cool example. One of our favorite mutual brands, Olipop, which is a fantastic beverage company. And so they sent out, a great SMS marketing campaign for their strawberry vanilla soda using Postscript. That's great. And what the integration with Gorgias allows is basically unlocking that two-way SMS. So say you send out a great campaign, that's great, but the consumer has some questions. They want to continue the conversation before they make a purchase. When a customer responds to that SMS, it'll get redirected inside of Gorgias. as a support agent, I have all this great context about that customer, their Shopify information, all their previous order history, subscriptions, etc. I can leverage that, answer questions, and then the consumer doesn't know two tools are involved, that being Gorgias and Postscript. They just get this awesome experience, and then they're on their merry way. And so Olipop just specifically has seen a 13x increase in sales via customer support by leveraging Postscript and Gorgias together. So that's just one of many examples of brands who are really unlocking and tapping into that two-way SMS. One-way SMS is great. Obviously, brands see huge returns using strategically crafted SMS campaigns, but we can really have that conversational commerce piece to it. Say with Gorgias plus the SMS piece, it's huge. And so on the analytics side, that's another piece. So obviously, we're tracking key support metrics like first response time, how long it takes to get back to somebody, essentially, resolution time, how long it actually takes to solve a problem. We have those metrics on a dashboard as well, but we also have revenue dashboard as well, which tracks how much revenue you're actually driving through Gorgias. So this could be either from, it tracks a customer that doesn't have a detected sale in the last 7 days, following a support metric over the next 30 days, they convert into a sale. That'll be attributed as revenue inside Gorgias. But also an easy example is, say I'm talking to a customer of mine that had a big problem. I solved their problem. I say, hey, really happy I was able to solve your problem. By the way, I see that you're a big fan of our blueberry soda. We just launched this new orange soda I think you might be a big fan of. Here's a 10% discount code. Hope you enjoy your weekend. If they redeem that sale inside of Gorgias, that'll be attributed as a revenue inside of our dashboard. And so here's a single day look at a day that one of our brands had almost 2 years ago, where they were able to generate up to $23,000 in sales just by using Gorgias, and they had almost a 50% live conversion rate. And this is only for live chat. This isn't factoring in other channels we have like SMS and email. And so that's pretty phenomenal. You can see their support metrics for that day, less than almost a two-minute first response time and a 21-minute resolution time, which are obviously phenomenal numbers. And so this is just a glimpse at the type of revenue that you can unlock by using a tool like Gorgias. All right, and just to wrap up, Gorgias on its own is phenomenal. We love our product and we're really proud of it, and we're continuously investing in it. But when you factor in all these different tools and apps in the ecosystem that plug into our product, it really transforms it into something truly exceptional. I just have a few quick examples to highlight here just to showcase two really popular new integrations that we just launched. So Klaviyo, very popular email marketing platform. We just launched a really cool integration with them a couple weeks ago, which inside of a customer ticket, you have this new Klaviyo widget, which can show all of the segments and subscription lists they're on, a bunch of other information, any coupons or codes that they might have received. You can also remove people from subscription lists because as a support team, you get that question a lot. So that's huge. There's a few other cool use cases as well with this one. And another really powerful integration we just launched is Yotpo, loyalty reviews and rewards platform. And so we have a cool widget with them as well, where imagine as a brand, if you're using Gorgias plus Yotpo, you can now see all the reviews that they've left with your brand. You can see how many loyalty points they had. You can see specific reviews, what the common questions and sentiments they're leaving about your products are. And also you can take action as well and issue reward points. And so this is a really cool example of how, Gorgias natively is great, but now all of a sudden you have these cool integrations plugged into our platform. You have even more context and information about your customers and the ability to take action. And that's it. Obviously, really appreciate everybody tuning in to check out my presentation. Love to chat with anybody who might be interested in maybe utilizing Gorgias as their first help desk, or if you're migrating from another help desk, you can reach me at chris@gorgias.com, and I'd be happy to get you up a special 1 month free of Gorgias. If you sign up in May, we actually have a 2 month free offer right now, which is plenty of time to see the ROI and value of Gorgias. And with that, I'll pass it off and we'll continue on with the next speaker. If you do have any questions for me, please post it in the chat or the questions, and I'll be sure to get back to you. Alrighty, and sorry, I should finish up with our AirPod Pros. So that's the giveaway that Gorgias will be giving to one lucky winner. I'm just gonna randomly pick one person here real quick. And our lucky winner is Simon Bayerts. So Simon Bayerts, congratulations, you are the winner of our AirPod Pro. So I have your contact information, and I'll be contacting you right after this to send those out to you. So congratulations for that. Alrighty, I've done a lot of talking, but still have plenty of energy to keep this party going. Up next, really happy to be welcoming Adam from our friends at Postscript. Welcome to the stage, Adam.
All right, thanks, Chris. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you go ahead and tee up your screen share, and I'll give you an introduction.
Perfect.
Awesome. Yeah, so Adam is the sales manager at Postscript, and his fun fact is his favorite food is ramen, which I think is a great fun fact. And as I said, he's a sales manager with Postscript. He works with their growth merchants to use SMS as a channel to drive new revenue. And when he isn't at work helping his merchants, he likes to travel, surf, hike in the mountains behind his house, buy surfboards, surf. He has surfing here a lot, so I'm getting the point here, Adam. You're a big surfer and he loves ramen. With that, the floor is all yours, Adam. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks so much, Chris. Yes, I do love surfing a lot. So just a quick background on Postscript. Postscript is a native Shopify application that enables Shopify stores to send SMS marketing messages. I know just talked a little bit about us. I know Gorgias talked a little bit about us before. So I'm happy to dive in from the Postscript and SMS marketing side. We went through YC in 2018. We just reached over 100 employees, which is really exciting for us. And we were a fully remote organization before it was cool. And we completely plan on staying remote as long as we're around, we're growing. So let's talk about SMS as a marketing channel. Number one, this is not meant to pull out, replace, overlap with any other marketing channels. We understand that D2C brands need lots of different channels to help engage with their customers. The key thing that SMS marketing and Postscript especially helps our customers do is get the right message to the right person at the right time. So that's incredibly important. And just naturally with SMS marketing, we're able to receive a 98 to 99% open rate. And that's within the first 3 minutes of messages being sent. So that's extremely important because as a growing D2C brand, having that connection with your customers and being able to engage with them through both marketing messages as well as two-way messages is extremely helpful and is going to help you increase the perception of your brand to your customers. So let's talk about the basics. Because we are a native Shopify application, we're able to sync data to and from your Shopify store to make sure that you're able to easily segment and personalize campaigns as well as automations. I know it says no full marketing blast here. That's almost true. Obviously, Black Friday, Cyber Monday is a crazy, crazy time, and CPCs and cost per acquisition start to get extremely expensive. The nice thing about SMS marketing is it's going to cost you the same thing same price to re-engage with your customers, whether it is in the summer months, or it's during Black Friday, Cyber Monday. So you're really able to engage with your customers in an efficient way. What you want to focus on while doing SMS marketing is using at least 3 list growth sources. So these are things like integrating with Just Uno or working with Facebook advertising to grow your list, or just generally sending email marketing campaigns, getting people to activate and engage this channel. It's extremely important to do that because in order to send SMS marketing messages, you need to receive opt-ins from your customers first. That's why our integrated partners are extremely important to us, and it makes your marketing channel work extremely efficiently. As well as getting these people to opt into your brands, we're able to set up what we call automations. So this is a way for us to trigger action-based messages to your customers to help give them that unique experience at scale for you. So a common example of this is like a welcome series or an abandoned cart. And based off of the actions that your customer has taken on your Shopify store, we're going to be able to easily give you those unique experiences. So let's talk about the tech stack that ties this all together. because Postscript and SMS is that end message that your customers are going to be receiving, we use a lot of these really great partners to help engage and give that great experience. Don't forget, when you're sending SMS marketing messages, it's not going into the promotions tab of someone's email. This is, it's not on live chat support where someone is on their computer. This is right there on their mobile phone. Most of the time, these messages are landing right in between the text message with your customer's parents and a group chat with their friends, right? So you want to be able to send that unique message and be able to efficiently reach out to them based off of those actions. So let's talk a little bit more about the two-way communication. And I know our partners at Gorgias talked about this a little bit, but imagine a world where you're able to effectively market your products to your customers. And when you're engaging with them, you're able to sync up with them on a one-to-one basis wherever they are in the world. You're able to do this through our integration with Gorgias. And I'm thinking of an example right now. A brand that we work with is called Live Watches. And they've actually turned Postscript and Gorgias into a revenue generating channel on the support side. Their AOV ranges between $300 and $600. So a lot of their customers aren't feeling comfortable buying from an e-commerce brand and spending that much money without communicating with the customer. So what they've actually done is they've used their CEO, his name's Chaz, to basically tap into their customers and connect with them on a one-to-one basis. So they've set up an automation that welcomes them to the brand, tells them a little bit more about why they're around and what their passions are. And then they sign off with Chaz and say, hey, by the way, let us know if you have any questions about this. They've turned this into a highly engaged channel, and it works extremely well for them and has helped boost their conversion rates much more than any other single channel involved. So as Gorgias was talking about before, it's extremely beneficial for people to communicate, especially through SMS. Additionally, we have integrations with partners like Recharge. For you subscription companies, we understand that a lot of your value comes from your repeat customers, really everyone in e-commerce, but especially your subscription brands. Imagine a world where you don't have to deal with the CS issues of when your customer signs up for a subscription and potentially forgets about it, or they haven't consumed your product completely, they're not ready for a repurchase. Imagine a world where you can actually text them 3 days before the subscription gets renewed, and you let them know, hey, your subscription's coming up. Reply skip to actually skip out this month. And in the short term, that's going to reduce your top line sales. But in the long term, it's going to reduce the amount of CS issues that you have doing refunds, things like that. And your customers are going to, remain subscribers to your brand, which ultimately is going to bring more long-term revenue to your brand as well. On the other side, we have functionality like reply to buy. So let's say your customers have, or your brand is releasing a new product that's complementary to something that is on a subscription. You can throw in that new product on a campaign and say, hey, the next subscription that is getting sent to you, reply yes to add this new product. It's going to increase your AOV, and it's also going to have your customers go deeper into your brand and be able to adopt more of the products that you're bringing to the table. So let's talk a little bit about Just So You Know. Once again, I know that we talked about this before on the Just So You Know side, but lots of D2C brands, hopefully yours, have lots of different channels, and you're sending different messages to these people and getting these different opt-ins from all different experiences, whether this is Facebook marketing or you have a lot of direct traffic onto your website or traffic to a specific item. Imagine a world where you're able to give them a specific experience, not just where they're opting in, but knowing that that person has opted in through this specific channel and giving them that unique experience every single step of the way automatically. We can do this through Just Uno and the way that we set up keywords to know, hey, this person has opted in and they were checking out this specific item, which means this is going to be a good upsell. We can check in and see, have they purchased this product before? And we can set up those automated messages to give that holistic experience for them. Now, the last thing that I want to talk about is post-sale. Your job isn't done once you have completed the sale. Most e-commerce companies are especially D2C brands, are really making their revenue off of their second, third, fourth purchase. So with Postscript, you're able to set these post-purchase automations to reach out to your customers and say, hey, hope you're loving product X, check out product Y now. So giving that experience to your customers is extremely important, especially when you're getting a 98 to 99% open rate. The last thing that I want to talk about is UGC. UGC is something that's incredibly important, especially to growing brands, and it's difficult to get user-generated content. Through our integrations with tools like Akendo and Junip, we're able to send follow-up messages, let's say like 2 weeks after the product was delivered, and say, hey, hope you're loving product X, click here to write in a review. And we give them that easy opportunity to go back to your website, re-engage, and write those reviews that are so insanely important to you in your future sales. People love purchasing, as we talked about before, through brands that have a lot of really good reviews, so on and so forth. And something that's really insane about pairing these tools together is with these automations, roughly 10 to 20% of these of these text messages sent out are able to receive some level of UGC out of them through integrating with partners. That's it for me on the Postscript side. Definitely happy to open it up and answer some questions. I saw a couple of questions come through. I'll turn it over to Chris to talk about our giveaway, and we'll go from there.
Awesome. Yeah, thanks so much for that, Adam. That was fantastic. I always love learning more about Postscript and all the cool features that you guys are launching. We do have a few questions for you before we get into your special giveaway. So one of them is what is the most important indicator of success when evaluating an SMS program? I'm sure you guys get that question a lot.
Yeah, so the most important indicator of success is being able to really give your customers that unique experience and knowing where they're coming from. So if you can dial that in and give them that unique experience, you're going to see the ROI pay out and pay dividends for you.
Absolutely. And then the next one here is, what kind of support does Postscript offer to merchants who are on the platform, both in the onboarding and then obviously once they're fully set up as well?
Yeah, definitely. So we understand that SMS is a new channel and there's no real playbooks that have been dialed in and defined quite like something like email marketing has. So if you go onto the Postscript application on the Shopify store, you can read through our reviews. We have thousands of 5-star reviews on our platform. And if you read through them, it's talking all about our support. We have phenomenal in-app support with real people that are really passionate about Postscript, that live, eat, and sleep and breathe SMS marketing with Postscript. We also have implementation specialists and a fully baked out dedicated CSM team that's going to work with you on the rest of your marketing calendar and help you integrate SMS into everything else that you're doing so it makes sense. It's not going to be SMS all the time. We're here to help raise your other channels and really get the message out for your brand quickly and efficiently.
Absolutely. We hear that all the time, that Postscript has a great reputation on the support and success side of things. So thanks again, Adam. Our special giveaway, we're going to do that now. So what was your prize again? Just trying to remember that.
I think it's the Yeti mic.
Yeah, sorry, the Yeti mic. Thank you. All right, cool. I'm going to go through and randomly pick one lucky winner here. Here we go. Alrighty. Our lucky winner is Patrick Metz. So Patrick Metz, you're a lucky winner of the microphone. We have your contact information. Thanks again to Postscript for putting up that great prize. We'll be in contact with you afterwards. Thanks again, Adam, for joining us.
Thanks, Chris. Thanks, Gorgias team.
Awesome. If you could just take away your screen share there, Adam, that'd be fantastic. And then we'll happy to welcome Alex to the stage. Hey, Alex, how are you?
Good. Thanks for hopping on.
Absolutely. So you can go ahead and get your screen share going, and I'll give you a quick introduction. Awesome. So yeah, Alex is a solutions engineer with Skubana. She her fun fact is that she is left-handed. Always cool to meet someone who's left-handed. So she at Skubana, she is a solution engineer, and she drives and manages the scoping process for prospects, evaluating Skubana. She loves identifying and solving for unique processes and helping prospective customers optimize their operations. She lives in Bend, Oregon, and she loves iced coffee. Love that. Hiking with her dog Melvin. So thanks so much for joining us today, Alex. Really excited to hear your presentation, and the floor is all yours.
Awesome. Thanks. Yeah, it's good to be here. Cool. So today I'm really going to be talking about brands who are in a high growth stage and how an operations platform can help you scale your business. So as I'm sure you guys all know, brands often reach an inflection point within their growth where the costs expand and the overhead assumed just become exponentially greater than they have been previously. Skubana exists to address this exact hurdle within the growth of your organization, and we do it by providing a way to maintain your business's efficiencies without dramatically increasing your operating costs. So just a little background on Skubana. We are an operations platform that helps marketplace sellers to unify their data. So the data that we are talking about unifying, as you can see here, it's across all your sales channels and then all of your backend operations as well. So we really want to help automate the backend operations portion, really, again, just in an effort to help our customers grow their businesses with clear real-time data visibility and being able to work out of a single system. So we are supporting and automating activities in all of these operational areas. So from order management to inventory to forecasting and purchasing and everything in between. Our goal is really just to help keep you nimble. And that's something that we typically see is a foundational element of success with the brands that we work with. So here are just some of the customers that we're working with currently. We have, a wide variety of customers across a wide variety of industries. So whether that's like a high-end lifestyle brand like Mgemi or Snow, or a marketplace seller like FitTrack, these are some of the customers that we're working with currently. One of those was Tushy. Justin Allen is the COO and co-founder of Tushy. And about 6 months before, the world heard any whisperings of a global pandemic, Tushy was looking for a solution in case they needed to scale. And little did Justin know, they were actually going to need to scale their order fulfillment 10 times over and onboard a 3PL in a weekend due to the unprecedented demand that they were receiving from the pandemic. They had Skubana already in place, so we were able to scale their order fulfillment with them and just completely change their supply chain operations. Okay, so here are some of the top concerns that we hear from our customers. These brand concerns really turn into Skubana priorities, and they're things that we ensure that we can address within our system. So there's a few ways that we can help do this at Skubana. Some of the ways that we help our customers to grow and maintain their efficiencies are based on feature sets and functions that our customers are using day to day. One of those is order bots, which are configurable automation rules, and those automate the order fulfillment process. Another is our inventory dashboard, which gives you a real-time look at your inventory across all your various warehouses and fulfillment centers. Our forecasting tool creates purchase orders automatically to ensure that you're able to keep up with demand. And then our analytics reports provide insight into profitability, inventory values, and sales trends. So one of the key benefits of a system like Skubana is data unification. We are integrating your sales channels. So whether that's, Amazon, Shopify, eBay, BigCommerce, Walmart, etc. Your warehouses, so that could be your own warehouse that you're managing. It could be FBA, it could be a 3PL partner, your products, your shipping providers. We're integrating all of that so that you can view all your data in one place and work out of a single system. Additionally, having all this data in Skubana allows us to power our analytics reports with the information that you need to grow your business. We're really here to help you get informed. So I'm sure you guys already know the importance of optimizing your operations. We provide consolidated sales channel reporting so that you can assess your performance across your various sales channels. We, of course, want you to be able to maximize your best channels and focus on where you're already seeing profits. And then we also want to give you insight into sales channels that maybe aren't performing as well so that you can reevaluate those as needed. We also allow you to manage all of your orders from all of your channels in a single dashboard. And then our inventory module provides real-time visibility into on-hand, allocated, and available inventory across all warehouses and fulfillment centers that you're working with. So scalability, this is a big one. Skubana helps to limit overhead that's associated with international and wholesale expansion. We have turnkey integrations with international sales channels so you can grow without risking scalability issues with your tech stack. Growing with the right products. So growing with the right products is also key. We are going to help you optimize reordering, and we do that based on assessing your live inventory counts, your sales velocity, and landed cost tracking. So we track accurate reorder points per SKU, and then we create automated purchase orders based on demand so that you are keeping your fast-moving products in stock and you're not going to miss out on sales. We're really just here to provide a system where you can monitor your sales velocity, your channel profitability, and your critical inventory levels across your warehouses so that you're avoiding the fees and the consequences associated with overselling. And so you're also able to assess, slow-moving inventory that you're potentially wasting cash on. So identifying where to invest next. This is another tenet of success that we see with our customers. You're of course always going to be monitoring profitability, both on a channel level and an individual SKU level, especially when demand is fluctuating. So we actually have a profitability report that helps track that variability so that you can focus on the channels and products that are most profitable for your business. And that's also going to help you assess where your next and best opportunities lie. So, really, in summary, even if you have a smaller team, you can ultimately make an outsized impact and dominate the market when you have the right tools and the right processes in place. Through the culmination of features that we offer here at Skubana, we're really aiming to be a lifelong solution for most of our customers. One of the ways that we can do this is through our App Store and our partner ecosystem. So we have, the ability to add on additional functionality and resources to your Skubana instance via our partner community. We also have an open API that can be leveraged, so you can effectively build into Skubana through any system. You can also retrieve your data in Skubana at any time via the open API. Ultimately, you really need a system that's as nimble as your business is. And that's where an operations platform like Skubana is going to be really helpful in driving your growth initiatives forward in the future. So that is really just kind of a general overview on Skubana and what we do here. So happy to help answer any questions that might have come up. I can see if any come up in the chat as well.
Awesome. Thanks so much for that, Alex. That was fantastic. Erica Rivero dropped a note, actually. Congrats on the promotion, Alex. You onboarded my organization onto Skubana last summer, and it's been a game changer. So we always love to see some love for our partners. A few questions for you before we let you off the hook. So one is what's the best way to measure ROI as I scale my business with Skubana?
Yeah. So, ultimately, there are many different ways to derive value from an operations platform like Skubana. But one of the ones that we see most commonly that our customers kind of assess us on is just cost and time savings. So we really want to be able to automate some of those processes that you don't need an employee doing so that you can free up your employees' time to focus on more like high growth or high value initiatives.
Perfect. And then the last question we have for you is what kind of support does a system like Skubana typically require? Is that support provided by Skubana, a partner, or do I as a merchant need to manage that myself?
Yeah, totally. So we have an in-house support team. We have both an account management team and a support team. So we offer live chat. We offer, Zoom call support, email support as well. One of the nice things, though, about Skubana is that in addition to the support, you really have total autonomy over your account. So if you need to make a change or you want to switch an automation rule, add a new channel, you ultimately have like total control and can do that on your own. But we're always going to be here to support you if you need that as well.
Amazing. Appreciate that. Before we let you off the hook, we do have a special giveaway that we're going to announce. So just going to pick one lucky person from the audience, and you're giving away, what was it? I think I'll double check. Your guys' special giveaway was an Echo Show 5. So really cool. You can put that in your host. Thanks to Skubana for putting that up. And so the winner of that, I'm going to randomly pick here, is, what do we have? Kendra Silvestri. So Kendra Silvestri, we have your contact information. Congratulations. We'll be in touch with you afterwards to get those shipped out. And thanks so much again, Alex, for joining us. It was always a pleasure to hear from the Skubana team.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me, guys.
Awesome. Cool. I'm just going to go ahead and share my screen one more time. What's going on here? Just give me 1 second. Cool. Well, first of all, I just want to thank everybody who did tune in today to join us for a great webinar. I appreciate everybody sticking on throughout the presentation. Thanks again to all of our awesome partners who joined us today to give a fantastic presentation. You can reach out to them by LinkedIn. We're going to send out the recording for this as well. And for all of our prize winners, we will be in touch with you this week to get your shipping information and to send out those prizes. And then just to finish up, we do have a number of events happening. We actually have one on tomorrow, all about creating a seamless customer experience, both pre and post purchase. And then next month, we have events on how to balance automation and personalization in CX, and also prepping for the future of fashion apparel and commerce. You can check that out by visiting the Gorgias website and go to events. Thanks again, everybody, for tuning in, our guests, our partners, and everybody for tuning in from the audience. Thanks again, everybody. Take care.